Jai Ma Kamakhya, Jai Matara, Jai Bhairava. So this is another question that has come up quite a few times over the last few months, where people have asked that in this Skanda Upasana, why have I not mentioned about the Trishati? So with these days, because of the internet, so it's easy for us to access documents and texts or very rare and powerful stutis, which used to be, not so easily accessible to people. Plus, everybody these days spreads everything, whatever kind of catches their fancy, without a certain degree of discrimination and responsibility of what should be spoken of in public and what should not. So, the reason I don't speak about the Trishati is very clear. It is extremely powerful. The Skanda Trishati, also known as the Shatrunjaya Trishati, is unlike the Trishatis of other devatas. This Shatrunjaya Trishati is actually a prayoga. It is a prayoga to destroy your Shatrus completely. If correctly done, following all the strict niyamas that are required of an upasaka who has the adhikara to do the Trishati prayoga, 6 days is the minimum time it needs to activate, or 12 days or 18 days, or in this order of 6. But 6 days is the minimum I've seen. And howsoever powerful may be the Shatru, howsoever, whoever it is, does not matter. If that prayoga is done correctly by the right individual, and this is very important, just because you have the Trishati does not mean you are the right individual. It is bound to cause an impact so strong and powerful that whosoever is the Shatru will not be able to keep standing. Trishati prayoga does not fail, but if it is done by the right individual. And here is the biggest catch involved in this. If you are unfit to do the Trishati and you try and attempt a prayoga of any upasana of the Trishati, there is a chance of backfiring as well, because the Trishati is not only a collection of 333 names of Kartikeya Bhagavan, but it is actually literally a prayoga to destroy Shatrus. It is like releasing a weapon, it is like an Astra. And if you don't know how to handle the Astra is going to come and cause problems for you. To be able to do the Trishati Upasana, and the details of the Paddhati I will not mention. There are many Paddhatis which are already available to people in terms of those who are, those who know these things. But there are others which can evolve. If your Upasana is really deep, then the deities themselves can sometimes reveal to you certain paths and Paddhatis which are not so well known, but which are also equally effective. Any genuine Upasaka will know this from experience, that after a point, after a depth is reached, the devatas themselves can indicate to you what exact vidhi to be used to get an exact result for something. The 333 names of Trishati are arranged according to the faces of Shiva and progressively start gaining power when it is done by an upasaka following very strict rules. When this prayoga is to be done, ideal course to get the result, one should ideally stay away from people for that 6 days of time if possible. Number 2, eat very less. Number 3, follow hardships. Absolute brahmacharya is needed. Don't randomly speak to anybody. Don't interact with anybody. In fact, ideally, don't even see the face of another human being those 6 days. Stay confined and do that sadhana. That is how it is that prayoga is done. Of course, an energized, a fully pran pratishtita veil of Bhagavan is needed for this, of a certain height, of certain material, on which at least 144 days of puja has already been done. So it has gotten completely activated. Additionally, even before that, the Upasaka himself who attempts this prayoga should ideally, for his well-being and safety, should have completed 6 lakh japa of Skanda mantras. Any Skanda mantra, but at least 6 lakh japa with all vidhi and proper method. Because, as I mentioned in my previous video on the Aghor Astra, an Astra finally is best handled by the Devata. No human being can completely handle an Astra, even though the use of Astras are very quick and very, how would I put it? If you use an Astra, you will see that the results will always come. But if you misuse an Astra, if you use it emotionally, and this is where the problem is, emotional people who do not have control over their own minds may suddenly think for a very small or silly thing, if they get triggered, they think, oh, let me just use an Astra. Then the karmic repercussion is going to be very dangerous. Not only that, even the Astra itself can cause harm to the person who is trying to do the Prayoga. Because finally, the Astra is best handled by the Devata who has that Astra as one of his weapons. Which is why, when doing Astra Mantra Siddhi, one is firstly mandatorily they have to attain a certain degree of depth and proficiency in the sadhana of the Mula Devata. Without the Mula Devata's kripa, you cannot attain siddhi of, you cannot survive the siddhi of a Astra. Let's put it this way, it's not even attaining. You will not survive the process. It is going to be so intense. So this Trishati of Skanda, of Kartikeya Bhagavan, is very powerful. It does not fail, but it requires extreme amount of discipline in the mind, a very strong mind. See, it's all the devatas. Kartikeya is the one deity who is born from the essence, the Virya of Shiva, and there is no Shakti Tattva inside him from head to toe. Shakti is in the veil. In the Astra of Kartikeya, there is Shakti. And when he decides to enter into a battle or a situation, he is always going to win. He is so powerful that nobody, no other god or gods can stop him when he gets fully activated. But that activation means the veil has been completely activated. And that the activation of the veil automatically means that Parashakti, not even ordinary forms, Parashakti or Adya Shakti, the ultimate Swarupa of Shakti, says yes to that battle and gives her blessing to Kartikeya. Once she gives her blessing, when these two come together, impossible to stop. Nobody, no amount, no enemy, doesn't matter who it is, gods, asuras, whatever it is, victory is assured. He will not stop until he has destroyed the enemy. Relentless pursuit of the goal is the first principle of Kartikeya Upasana. And that requires a lot of discipline. That is why what happened over time is when the 7th or the 8th century, the Kartikeya Paddhatis that were more popular across India, North India, Afghanistan, even Bengal had very great tradition of Kartik Upasana, remnants of which are still existent in many villages today and other places. But the true Mantra Upasana Krama has perhaps been lost. And some bit of it, for example, this Trishati, it was believed that there is to be great experts in the application of the Trishati Vidya in Bengal side, in northern Bengal side. But after the invasions and other things, they had to leave those places and got scattered. And that Trishati, the Vidya of the Trishati got transmitted into few kulas in South India. Most importantly, for example, the temple of Tiruchendur in Tamil Nadu, where this is the specialty of Lord Kartika, the Archana with this specifically. So he becomes a Satru Samhara Swarupa when this Trishati is activated. Unless you are very sure, unless you know how to handle that power, that kind of raw energy can cause difficulties, euphemistically putting, for the Upasaka himself until he has very clear approval from Kartikeya to do that. So that is why I do not recommend mentioning the Trishati. All that I'm talking is that it is a great Vidya, but it is not necessary for everybody to do the Trishati all the time. It's much better to do the Kartikeya Ashtottara-nama, which is also very powerful. if you can just keep doing the Kartikeya Ashtottara-nama or a basic mantra of the Kartikeya, which is most popular, that itself will get you some blessings of Bhagavan Kartikeya. A more complicated method of puja at this moment, or specifically the use of Trishati, is not recommended, neither needed for everybody, because it is indeed very, very intense. And it's a remarkable thing. It's only to be used only when there is a great danger, uh, or only when there is an enemy who is multiple orders of time more powerful than you are, and there is a clear and absolutely sanguine threat to dharma. And lastly, but most fundamentally, when the person who is applying has the capacity to do it properly. It's very important that you must have that Shakti to do this, otherwise, it is going to cause some problems. So, if you have to get the blessings of Kartikeya, best option is do the Ashtottara-nama and the other videos that I've done. Those are simple methods, those are easier and absolutely safe methods, and they cause no problem whatsoever to anybody to my knowledge, whoever has done those sadhanas. In fact, Kartikeya sadhana, even the simple one of Ashtottara Nama, is very useful for protection from diseases, protection from negative energies. When there is brain fog and confusion in the mind, very simply you can keep a small veil and just do archana of the veil, depending on the material of the veil. If it is uh, a veil made of karungali, then the dry archana has to be done. You cannot add water and all that because it's wood. But even dry archana, just mix akshat with a little bit of kumkum and with a little bit of haldi and with a little bit of vibhuti, fresh vibhuti, and some perfume, maybe not non-alcoholic perfumes or attar or something like that. Mix it together and just do the Ashtottara Nama and keep doing archana on the veil for a period of 11 days. And then collect that whatever material you get from the archana every day, collect it, keep it in your puja space, keep it in your pocket when you go for any work, keep it anywhere in the house. It will protect you completely. That's a simple method and a very powerful method. So this is precisely why I don't speak of the Trishati, because Trishati, by the way, there are many other rules also. Whatever I've said is only a part of it. There are other rules, there are other Samputtikaranas of the Trishati, other ways in which it can be activated, and it is immensely powerful, but it is not to be handled without extreme degree of caution. Uh, Maybe over time, if I feel inspired, I will create a small and easy method of Kartikeya Upasana with all the Parivar Devatas and all that for those who are more interested in worship of Bhagavan Kartikeya. So, all the people in KBUF who are closely connected to me mandatorily have to worship Kartikeya. I mean, we have been doing it for more than 3 years now, 4 years, with specific ways to be done, because his blessing is extremely important in protecting the integrity of the Kula. It is only during the Kamakhya corridor case that he very categorically entered into the equation for me personally first, because of certain Purvajana samskaras, and that kind of shifted the battle quite favorably towards us over the last 2 years. So I hope this answers the question with respect to Trishati. Jai Ma Kamakhya, Jai Ma Tara, Jai Bhairava.